G'day everyone, this is Nick from Electric Wheels Australia, ACA, Perth Electric Scooter Repairs. And before us is an Apollo City Pro that has a deflated rear tyre. That tyre there is the new one, and they are tubeless. So they're a bit tricky to get the tyre over the rim. You can't use cable ties. The reason being is because you can't separate the rotor from the stator, even though you've got this side cap here which is removed. And you can see, come on baby, I can't do it. Well, anyway, in there you'll see, there it is there, the magnets and the coils. But on the other side, there's no bolts to remove the side cap there, so you can't separate the stator from the rotor to then take the outside part onto my fancy tyre changer. And I do need to do that because I've got busted shoulders. And this particular scooter, I would say, is the worst scooter on the market when it comes to tyre changing. The reason being is because when it comes to tyre changing, you haven't got much length in the cable to pull it out away from the scooter to be able to work on it properly without potential damaging, scratching any part of the frame or the paintwork. And not only that, to get into there, you're really working it around a lot of metalwork. So I don't like doing that. I do prefer to separate the rotor from the stator, then put it onto the tyre changer if I can. Most of the time I do. So to remove this, you actually have to remove the bottom cover, plastic cover, and then you've got to remove the metal bottom plate, which is all of this here. Okay, and in here you've got to remove the battery. You've got the bolts there, and then at the top here, whoopsies, at the top here you've got the cable running through to the controller here. And so you've got to pull the battery out to get to the cables to then pull out the motor. I'm not holding this camera too well, or this phone too well here, sorry about that. Now, it's not just that. That's not the only... I mean, one thing I do like about it is the clamping. But if it came to it, if I was given an opportunity to buy, or if I was given an Apollo, the only one I would take or accept would be the Ghost, the current model, 2024-25 model, because they have that clamp, which is great. I don't like the old style clamp, which is two fingers around and you had to adjust one, adjust the other, and keep doing this to tighten it up. Stupid design. All scooters today should really have that design, except for the ones got the two stem bars, so that doesn't quite work as well. So one of the biggest issues regarding this particular scooter is the fact that it is quite a unique design. It's not off the shelf. And in a few years' time, no doubt, parts are going to be difficult to get hold of. And if you are in Australia, you may or may not know the original importer of the Apollo was a company called Electric Kicks in Melbourne, who now no longer sell the Apollo. And I would say, is coincidentally, is the time when Scooter Hut started selling the Apollo. And why Apollo gave rights to Scooter Hut to sell in Australia is beyond me. They obviously just don't know what they're doing when it comes to the Australian market, because you just wouldn't do that. If you know the history of Scooter Hut, I mean, I used to work for them, and when it comes to support of their scooters, not only their own brand, but the only one I would say that they've been continuously supporting is of course the Carbo. But now thankfully someone else is importing the Carbos, but they're not importing all of them. I don't think they're importing the top end. But the fact of the matter is, this customer bought this Apollo City Pro from Scooter Hut. It's in excellent condition. It's been taken care of. It's not that old. But when he wanted them to change the tyre, they told him they don't have any tyres. They don't know when they're going to get the tyres in. And I think they quoted 4 weeks when they do get the tyre in. But there's a 4-week delay in putting it on. Being a big company like they are, unlike myself, which is I'm an individual, and at times I do struggle to get things done on time in many cases. I do, and I understand that aspect, but they have got multiple technicians and the finances and the support from the factories to get stuff in very quickly. I don't have that. I have to rely on various companies to supply me. So back to this particular scooter, there's a couple of things I don't like about it. Not just about going to be a problem getting parts for it, and it's quite an interesting tyre. It's not. I wouldn't say it was totally unique, but it's not the norm type of tyre. And that is that, for example, a couple of the issues I don't like about the scooter, which I've noted over the past few years, is, for example, there's a grub screw which holds this display here in place, but that grub screw is only screwed into plastic. Okay, and the same as around underneath there, those two screws there are screwed into plastic. So if you overscrew it, they will chew through the plastic and they will not hold the display in place properly. Okay, I've had to, I have spent a bit of time 3D designing the. It's in a like a cup type situation with the lid and all the electronics inside. Okay, so that's like this kind of thing. All right, it's got that with the display panel, the LCD display on top. And this bottom part inside here, which you can't see because it's inside the metal part, I've actually 3D designed it to a certain extent, and I will eventually finish it off and then print it out and make sure they work, because guaranteed there's going to be people needing that piece. But that's pretty much it. That's all I can do. There is the light, I think it's called. It's not the city light, but the light LIGHT model, which is a smaller version, a small scooter compared to this. And the kickstand itself is a tubeless stand, and then at the end it's got a little plastic cap. They kept on breaking off, so I've actually 3D printed the end cap in a better design where it's curved on the bottom rather than a flat base, which the corner hits, hits the ground, and therefore it cracks at the point and breaks off. So if you've got the Apollo light and you're missing that plastic piece, I do have some in stock that I made up. Even not bikes, good to see. Even Electric Kicks bought some off of me. I gave it to them rather than anything else. So yeah, now I would say it's a good scooter in terms of riding, okay, battery life and all that kind of stuff, reliable. Will I buy one? No, I wouldn't buy one. As I said, the only scooter I do like is the Ghost, for several reasons, including having a split rim motor, which is to me the ultimate type of motor and tyre setup. It's got the new clamp, which is my favorite as well. And not only the fact of the matter is, it is based on a generic model, the TDM-10. And that model is dime a dozen. Even, say, for example, in the case of Scooter Hut, their E-Glide Mach 10 is based on that. Who has iScoot, their Carbon 10, I think it is the same scooter. Who else? Just trying to remember. I can't remember right now who else has got that in Australia. So yeah, that's the reason. There's a number of reasons, and it's a good overall scooter, easy to repair, and easy to get parts, and that to me is what is ultimately important. Not only that, you can purchase a battery to suit it, which are off the shelf again. You don't need a specialized one. This one is probably a specific size, length and width, and it's got certain tolerances, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to get that cable to run inside in there. So that's probably another reason why, and the price of it would probably be too high. But then, Canadians, they think they like to be different, I suppose. I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, this is not a good scooter to purchase for servicing, maintenance, parts, and really if I was going to give it anything out of 10, I'd give it a 3, purely because it's a nicely built scooter. It's got good range, yeah, that's about it. It's pretty. It's a pretty scooter. All right, I'll leave it at that. Thanks very much for watching, and if there are any questions regarding this scooter or any other scooter, don't hesitate to pass a comment. Bye for now.